the recording was. Okay, so I'm Ratnesh, and um, me and my wife Aditi, we kind of started exploring being with children uh, way back 1998, 99 is when we started, and uh, we worked in the first few years, 3 4 years. We worked with a whole range of children, right from very young to 2.5, three, to right up to 20 teenagers. So we worked with all the ages, and we learned a lot from them. The best part was we did not come from any training. We did not know anything about children, about education, about learning. We were zero. um, if you ask me, I would still say I'm zero. But anyway, they taught us a lot of things. These children whom we worked with, and even till date, whom we have been interacting with, have taught us a lot of different things about children and about learning. Incidentally, a lot of things don't match with the conventional education, which is why we started thinking as we started working with them that hey, we need to think differently, not just for our child, but for other children too. But I want to share. In this meetup, I shared two things that I really like, that I learned from them, and that became the cornerstone of what we are doing. The first thing that we learned from the major thing that we learned from them is a very simple thing, is that children like to do what they like to do. Yeah, children like to do what they like to do. Now, it's a very simple statement, but I think it's a huge statement because it just tells us, perhaps we also as adults like to do what we like to do, that if we like to do what we like to do, then we should do that. As simple as that. It was, for us, it was like a cannonball when we realized this. Oh, really? Then what is all this so-called education all about, which we had also gone through? So we started, that made us really, you know, look at children very carefully. And the second thing that they taught to us was that they have all the resources that they need for for their life, for growing, for learning, for developing themselves. They have all the resources. I don't mean the physical resources. Obviously, we nobody can have all the resources, and that's not even required. But I'm talking about the internal resources, the so-called abilities, um, everything that is really really needed. The real, you can say, tools of learning and living is all within us, all within each child. And the ample proof of this little statement is a child learning mother tongue. At the age of right from 0 to 2 years, within that span, they learn a complete language without anybody teaching them anything. They decode everything: the grammar, the syntax, the vocabulary, the sentence structuring, the tone, the manner, whom to speak, how, which language, everything. Right? So it's amazing if you really look at it, what amazing set of abilities the child must be having, so that in just 0 to 2 years, the child is able to completely learn a language, and almost like effortlessly, though there's a lot of effort that goes inside. So, if you put these two learnings, these two insights together, one is they like what they like doing and they have all the resources. Uh, that became what we felt was, hey, that is a beautiful way to learn, a very simple, natural way to learn, where the child uses his or her own resources, including the abilities to find a teacher, connect with people, connect with external resources, and so on. And the child pursues what they like doing at any point of time, whether they're 3 years old or 13 years old or 19 years old. Yeah, so that is how we understood children, and that is why we created this space Aarohi. Obviously, with our own daughter as the first, you can say, child of Aarohi. So that let me quickly also share about my two children. I have two children. My daughter is now 27 years, and she's married and yeah, enjoying life. She has uh, almost not gone to school, no 10th, no 12th, no college, no degrees, no certificates. And she's a professional in her own field. And She was followed by a son. Son is 21, and he has also never gone to a school, no 10th, no 12th, no college, nothing. He's also a professional in his field. So both my children have totally enjoyed doing what they like doing. That was the first insight, and developing themselves through their own resources. Yes, everybody needs support, everybody needs connection with others. But that's their journey, and that's our journey as a family. But we have also been fortunate because we set up Aarohi in 2008. We have been fortunate of working with thousands of children and families over these years, almost now, how much? Almost 17, 18 years. And it's been an amazing journey for us. Every day is full of action, full of drama, full of everything. You can say all the spices in life. And if you come and visit our campus and stay with us, you will experience that. Yeah, I will give you a more formal invite little later. So that's a little introduction. What I want to do is I would like to run you through a small presentation, um, and we'll take it from there, right? We will maybe that will give a kind of a sense of direction for all the discussion that we can have, and you can also get to know a little about what is this education, and some of you are kind of familiar with it, some of you are already doing it, some of you are looking for it. Yeah. um, so let me take about 10 quick minutes to run you through this, and then we can have an open discussion. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'll screen share. All right. Okay. Mm, Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Right. Right. So what we use the term, there are many terms different people use different terms. Some call it homeschooling, some call it unschooling, some call it open learning. We primarily like the term child-based education because it gives us the clarity that it's not about anybody else or anything else, but about this particular child. And if it is child based, it has to be different for each child because each child is unique, is different, like just like each one of us is different. So it's a very customized this child education, you can call it, right? So that is why we like this term child based education. It gives a very clear message what it is all about. um, and it is not limited to when we use the term homeschooling, unschooling tends to give a flavor. It's only limited to schooling year, but that's not true. Education is throughout the life, and throughout the life, it is child based. It is me based, which is how typically we all learn. So let's little explore child-based education. So when we talk about child-based education, a lot of people have different questions. So you can still use the term homeschooling, unschooling, open learning, free education, open education, global education, travel education, whatever term you want to use. That's absolutely fine. There's no issue with any terms. But at the end of it, it's all about, okay, uh, looking at the whole education from a child's perspective rather than our perspective. Yeah. So, what I will take is through some of the common questions that we are asked. The first one that we are asked is, hey, if it is child based, then what's the curriculum? So we say, in a way, say, hey, the child is the curriculum, which means the child's interest at any point of time, whether the child is 3 or 13, is built around what that child is interested in. Because when I am interested in something, my engagement with this is automatic. My joy is automatic as a child, right? And that means also that we embrace all the beautiful learnings in this world. Everything in this world is, according to me, academics. Everything is worth learning, everything is joyous. So why divide something as this is important, this is not important? Isn't, you don't go to A.R. Rahman and say, hello, Mr. Extracurricular. Right? For him, his music is the core of his life. And that's exactly how I think learning or education, when we look at it this way, it is a total joy for the one who is doing the education, yeah, which is the child or the learner. So that's in terms of what is the curriculum. The second question then automatically comes, hey, it's like all freedom, so there is no structure, so it's just like free flowing. It's actually not. It's actually quite the opposite. It's actually very structured. But the structure comes from the child. And that's the beauty of it. If the child can structure his or her learning, then believe me, the rest follows. And actually, young children, toddlers, for example, I was giving the example of mother tongue, actually have a structure to learning mother tongue. They are listening very, very carefully to every word that is spoken. They are kind of connecting all the dots constantly. So they have a structure going on. Just that that structure is not the structure we are used to, but there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of thinking. Okay, this is what I will do, this is what I want to do, this for how much time I will do, and so on. Obviously, the learning is that this whole structuring is very dynamic because the child is a very dynamic human being. And obviously, it is supported by parents and communities, especially as children grow up. They may want support in certain areas, but whether they need support, not need support, what kind of support they need, the more important thing is they are the owners of their learning, and which is why it's driven by them. They kind of take in charge of it, which brings the question, hey, so but then how will they learn something? Will they learn everything by themselves? No, 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 they don't need to. The whole world is their classroom. The whole world is a resource space for them. They can ask anybody, they can go to YouTube, they can learn by doing, failing, exploring, whatever is meaningful for them, whatever is joyous for them. If you look at it, even in our professions, we typically learn by on the job. We say, I really learned on the job what my work is. So if we can, in the same way, I cannot learn cooking in theory. I have to be on the job. I have to cook to learn how to cook. Right? There is no other way of learning anything actually. So this is what they do. They actually do learning. In that sense, the learning itself is less important. The doing becomes more important. Yeah. But all the resources, everything is available, and they go about embracing any number of people, teachers, sources, resources, which connects with them. So each one obviously will have a different style of learning, which matches with their style, their pace, their way of learning. Yeah. The fourth thing people ask, hey, what about assessment then? Well, why do we need assessment is the first question we should ask. Do as adults we like people to assess us, to take an exam in our job every month? Well, if there are exams in some jobs, I don't know, I'm sure there must be. But the real joy is when I assess myself, and I do that through my own daily reflection. I track my progress, I seek a lot of feedback, and as I grow older, maybe become a teenager, I start building my portfolios. Though in ROE, children as young as 7, 8, 9 start building their portfolios of what all they are exploring, learning, and so where they're applying which skills they want to apply, and so on. And in the whole process, become a complete, a learning system by itself. They are a learning machine, but they also become a learning system. So they develop from being a learning machine, which they are from day one, into a learning system. Yeah. And obviously each one very, very different. Yeah. So that's the assessment part. Finally, people ask about, hey, but what about becoming a professional in this world? Finally, you got to earn the money, kind of thingy. Well, the best part is the industry is very, very, very welcoming in today's world to children, youth, even adults who don't have necessarily a degree in a particular field, because that's not really important. What is really important is that the child has done, or the learner or the doer or the one who's applying for a job, or applying to you as a client, has an experience in it, can show you the work they've done. So what happens in child-based education is that children have both the options. They can go back to giving 10, 12 and get into a college if that's what they want to. Some of them do that. And some of them prefer to convert their passion into their profession, as in they don't go through 10, 12, which is what I was giving the examples of my two children who have not gone to any school, college, who have developed themselves as professional in their respective field. Yeah. So all these options are available to children. Child-based education does not preclude any option by saying, hey, this is not okay, school is not okay. If they want to go back to school, yes, there are children who have gone back to school, then come back to child-based learning. So all kind of permutations, combinations are all available to the child depending on what the child is wanting at a particular time. Yeah. So that's a little quick run through of what we call as child based education. You can call it homeschooling, unschooling, open learning, whatever you want to call it. All terms are fine. uh, the whole thing boils down to, hey, can we look at the child as a beautiful being with lots of interests, lots of passions, lots of talents, capabilities, strengths, and work through that child's set of what that is, what that child really connects with, and work closely with each child individually, not like uh, not like a general kind of a thing. uh, so what exactly happens in Aarohi? Now I'm little talking about more specific to what happens inside Aarohi. Till now I was giving a more overview of child-based education. So what happens in Aarohi is that we on our children on a daily, weekly, monthly follow this little wheel, the wheel of deciding what they want to do, and then designing how is it that they're designing is how do they want to do, with whom do they want to do, what resources do they need today, what will they jump into, and so on. So that's the design part. Then actually doing it, and then reflecting, which is the assessment part. Reflecting on how it went. Did they like it? Did they not like it? Do they need to develop some other skills? How do they grow in this? How, what else they want to do, and so on. So this circle or the cycle continues: decide, design, do, and reflect on an ongoing basis. And through that, children do both learning. Here we'll define learning as something which we don't know. So if I don't know crochet, then I'm going to learn crochet. And development, which is things which I already have, abilities that I already have, like my muscles. I already have the muscles, I need to develop them, right? In the same way, I have lots of abilities: ability to think, ability to solve, ability to connect with people, ability to have emotions and perseverance, and so on and so forth. Whole lot of things I have, so I can develop those. So that's the development part. And all of this happens in an environment of interdependence. What that means is that there's nobody higher or lower. There are no teachers, there are no students. Everybody is just learners. Whether I at 57 is a learner and a 7-year-old is also a learner. And we both could be learning together, maybe from each other or maybe from what we are both together doing or even separately doing. So there's a lot of interdependence here in Aarohi. Everybody learns from everybody, whether they're children, parents, grandparents, whoever. We all learn from each other all the time. Yeah, that is the whole idea. And also learn not like a teacher student, but just by observing somebody, just by listening to somebody, just by scolding somebody or getting scolded from somebody or whatever, fighting with somebody. We're all the time learning all kinds of things. Yeah. So again, just to quickly summarize how it happens at Aarohi, we have a campus where children, especially 9 to 21, are there who can stay here. If there are younger children who can travel, let's say from Bangalore or a close by city, they come 1 week in a month. That's a possibility. But what happens here is same thing. We design all together with the child being at the center, design a personalized learning plan, which is very dynamic, changes day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. And then there's a whole lot of meaningful projects, resources, people, explorations, exposures, which happens, which kind of matches with what that child is looking for. Then we also focus a lot of on what is this world has to offering. So we go out a lot, meet a lot of people, do projects, do things outside in the world, not just doing inside our campus, but outside with the world, a whole lot of different things. And at the same time, while we are exploring the outside world, we do a lot of exploration of inside us, our inside, right? Our emotions, our thinking, our intelligences, our relationships, and how we want to lead ourselves in this life. So this whole thing is of looking outside as well as looking inside, and this is given a lot of importance. And finally, as I mentioned, if some children want to become professional without necessarily going to school, college, then we have this journey called passion to profession, where they work with the industry, they take up different projects with the industry, even earn projects through which they earn also as well as learn also. And that's how they develop themselves in their career, and become professionals. Yeah. Obviously, the choice is still there. I just want to clarify, if any child does want to go to 10th, 12th, or go back to college, that's absolutely fine. As you can see, Radhika, who went around 10th, she did in a school after being open learner till whatever, almost 14 years. And on the right side, you see Skanda with his mom, who chose to not do any of this, and just continue with the journey of being a professional by doing things. So both the options are available, or rather many options are available. Okay, so what is Aarohi? Aarohi is basically not a school. We are a community of loads and loads of families who have done this journey or doing this journey. And yeah, we are learning from everybody. Everybody is contributing also in many different ways. So that's what we are. So the parents play a very important role. They become part of the community. And as parents, you will contribute not just for your child, but for all the children, for all of us actually. Uh, what are the options we have? Just to summarize, sorry, one option is for your child to be at Aarohi campus. I mentioned 9 to 21 years can actually stay here, be at the campus throughout the year. Obviously child joins for minimum 1 year or few years, as many years that the child wants to be. Younger children can come 1 week in a month with a parent. So that's another option I was talking about. So these are the two options for you to be at the campus. So that's number one. Um, the second thing which we offer is for parents who either do not want to or cannot come to the campus. We have a Aarohi Deep program, which is like a online group, online cohort of parents who are meeting on a regular basis, at least minimum 2 to 3 times in a week, the whole year through, and working together for their child's thing. So from your home you can be part of Harohi, but this is for parents, not for children. We will all work together, help each other, support each other, guide each other, build our routines, build our systems that will help your child. So each one, you work at with your child at home, but we all kind of rub shoulders with each other and learn together, right? We also have a program called Jagriti. This is a short program. Both the child at campus and ROE Deep is minimum 1 year. The Jagriti is a short unparenting, unlearning program for parents. It's a 11 session program which we do twice a year, which I would recommend for every parent because it just opens up. As the word Jagriti means, it's an awakening to understanding the child, understanding education, understanding learning, understanding myself as a parent. So it's like a boom, like an explosion, and you open up to so many different ways of working, connecting, enjoying, building, and growing with the child. Yeah, so that's the Jagriti program. We do 2 batches. The next batch would be in June. In a year, we do 2 batches. This is also online, only for parents. So these are the basic 3 things that we offer. Yep. At the campus, Deep program, and Jagriti. The whole idea of, at least at Aarohi, what we really, really believe is that uh, the idea is to get the child to develop himself into a strong individual, right? If I have the strong wings, then I can fly anywhere. Then I'm not afraid of what the world needs. Whatever the world needs, if the world needs a certificate, if the world needs a proof of how good I am, I can produce that. I can do that. And that is what we work on. We work on that particular child's strengths, and making the child stronger to whatever, live the life the way that particular child wants to. Yeah. So yeah, I think I have taken enough time. Yes, it's 32, time for me to switch off the presentation. Right. So let's spend, we have good, easily half an hour. Please join more people on the video. We can chit chat. We can have whatever. You can ask questions. You can initiate discussions. Feel free to ask any kind of questions related to your child or child-based education. But more people on video would be nice. I can get a visual connect, and we all can feel like we are sitting in a room chit-chatting. Yeah. You can go ahead, unmute your mic and share. If you're just not able to use mic, you can also use chat and share. We have Preeti also. Hi, Preeti. Would you like to quickly introduce? We missed you at the beginning.
Hi everyone, I'm Preeti. We are a family from Mumbai and we are part of Aarohi since 6 years. We started Aarohi open learning journey when our daughter was 7 years old and now she is 13. She's 13 and yeah, doing many things by like now completely by herself. And yeah, we are a community of loads of people across India and globe also. And yeah, we have a beautiful bond. Yeah, that's what Aarohi rocks.
Thanks, Preeti. So more questions. So you can ask Preeti questions because she has a nice journey from they started at 7, I think, when um, Mishti, her daughter was 7 and now she's 13. So if you want to know how that journey happens, you can ask Preeti questions. You could ask, yeah, you can ask me questions. Somebody asking, yeah, if you want to come over to the campus, I will give you the link. Please see the details, and that's it. You can register and yeah. So the campus coming, I would recommend for people whose children are little older, maybe older than 4 or 5. When children are very young, I would still say don't be in a hurry to come to campus. More importantly, understand the child because your home is already an amazingly beautiful campus. So if you have very young children, I would say first do Jagrati, right, and understand how your house itself is such an amazing, or your home, or whichever part of the world you live in is such a beautiful campus. And once you do Jagrati, I think then coming to campus would make more sense. That is just my thought. um, right. But anybody with children more than 5 and 6, where children can themselves be all around, would definitely invited to come and experience. I've just shared the link. uh, you can go ahead, and the weeks options are given. The experience week is 1 week at a time, Monday to Friday. So you can come for a week experience from Monday to Friday, stay with us, and yeah, and then we can take it forward from there. Oh, we have so many people who have raised hands. Okay, you can just come one by one on my chair. I'm not really used to this raised hand kind of business. So just come, just unmute and barge in. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, we live in Boston, so campus is not an option right now for us. But I think Jagriti is something. So my friend is doing Jagriti, and she really is loving it. So that she's the one who told me about this, and I joined the
Sure.
orientation. So how does Jagriti work? Like, is it weekly? How much time, and how
I think
basically
all
it?
I will give you the link. All those basic details are already
Okay.
there on the web page. Yeah, how does it work? But more importantly, it's a very intense program which you would the real essence of Jagriti is in exploring. So we will explore a lot of different ways of looking at the child and looking at ourselves as parents, and the real benefit you can get from Jagriti if you explore those perspectives. So Jagriti is all about opening new windows, new perspectives. If you have 50 perspectives about your child, we'll add 350 more to it. So the idea is to explore those. We will not give you any tips, any techniques, any methods. Will not solve any of your problems because we don't think you have any problems. If you think you have a problem in Jagriti, you will forget that there are problems. Right, you will start enjoying all your so-called problems and you will start calling them something else. So that's Jagriti about. It's not about us teaching you anything, it's just about us sharing with you all the insights about children, and then you go ahead and exploring those insights and see what works for you. Something works for you, great. Something doesn't work for you, chuck it, no problem. Right.
Okay, makes
Yeah, so
sense.
that's Jagriti. It's like a mind opening thing. It's like having many more ways of understanding something. Yeah, I've given the
Okay.
link. Please go ahead. You can register already for the June batch. And
Okay,
yeah, we do normally a June and a Jan batch. We just completed the Jan batch.
I
Now,
see.
yeah.
Okay, and she basically goes to like a Montessori school here. So at home, she's like on the weekdays, she's not at home much. Do you think like have you had experiences with kids that go to
Yeah, yeah,
a
absolutely.
daycare
That
and
doesn't
everything
matter.
still right? Okay.
Please, wherever the child is, see, it's not about the quantity of time that you spend with the child, but it's more about how you connect, understand, how you observe, how you invite the child to lead his or her learning. Yeah. So
Mhm.
even 10 minutes can make a huge difference It depends on
Yeah.
how are we looking at the child. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that will make a bit. That's why I recommend Jagrati first, because it's about
Mhm.
how we look at the child. It's about the perspective. If one perspective could be something which can really make a big difference to you and your child.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, more thoughts, more questions.
I have a question. Like,
Sure.
you talked about how the child himself or herself will choose what she needs, and she'll design that, and they'll develop that. So on that, I have a question. Like, is that not like we have to provide the options, or my daughter wouldn't even know that there's something called crochet unless
Hmm.
I put her in an environment where she sees that there are things that are crocheted, right?
Hmm.
So how do I provide that environment if I don't send her to like, I come from a normal conventional school. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing one person say that they have two grown up kids who are professionals without degree, so that
Just
itself
too
is
many
like an
more.
eye opening for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. See, what you're talking about is exposure, and I would personally say our children are already overexposed. Forget being exposed; they're overexposed in today's world of media. They've literally seen things which we have never, which we took lot of time to see. So if you say crochet, she will find crochet somewhere, not on her dress, maybe somebody else's dress, maybe a tablecloth in somebody's house, and she'll say, "What is this?" And somebody will say, "That's called crochet," and there you go. Or she may see somebody doing crochet, and she may go and ask, "Hey, what are you doing? I also want to try this." There you go. That's so. There's no dearth of exposure. See, anyway, there are some 13,600 million things to do, isn't it, in this world? I'm sure me and you have hardly sampled
very
5%
true.
of the world, which is good enough. We don't need to sample everything that we do, but at least we are free to sample whatever attracts us, right? Otherwise
So
the
it
whole
is.
thing is no, 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 do this only, and then you worry about everything else. So that's the whole idea. If I
So
am
it's
I'm liking something, just let me flow with that. Yeah.
so it's kind of like the fear in me that is like, like, my fear is like telling me like, oh, I have to do this for her, kind, rather than just let her be, right?
Right, right, right. No, that fear is very common. It is not. It is something which a whole lot of parents are thinking in terms of fear. Um, just one moment. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so fear is fine. Fear is nice, and actually, you should listen to what the fear is telling you. Fear is not telling you to continue to do fear. If you listen to your fear, is telling you to see if there is something else that you can explore, and that it's something else you can explore is in the child. If you observe the child, children are fearless. When they want to try out something, they are not thinking I will fail in it. They want to try it, right from a year old to whatever age. Yeah. So if we are actually, I keep saying to people, hey, if we can learn from children, then we will learn how to use our fears. Fears are good. Fears are only telling us to explore what worse will happen. I will trip and fall. Go ahead, do that. Yeah. So the more we actually connect with our children, the less fearful we become, because the more we start seeing the power inside the child. Yeah. So the invitation is to do that. Whether you want to take that invitation through Jagrati, or whether you want to do that just by observing your child, or whether you want to come to our campus and stay with us for a week, and then you will see so many children doing things in which the way they want to, you will say, I also want to do things the way I want to. In fact, the first thing, if you come to our campus, we will tell you is that you are not the mother. You've not come here as a parent. You've come here as another learner. Come in now and tell us what would you like to do. And if you say, okay, I already know how to do this, I would like to do this, we'll say, no, 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 do something which you have never done before. Have you climbed a tree? Have you done this? Have you done that? So we'll invite you to do things which you don't like doing, or sorry, which you haven't done before, or even don't like doing. And then you will discover those things as amazing. And then you will realize, so it's not about going wrong or failing or mistaking or whatever. It's about diving into something and enjoying it. And that's what we have learned from children. Yeah, to just dive in. The moment you see something, they dive in. So we will have to learn how to dive in. And when we are diving in with our children, then it's a lot of fun. Then we are like swimming together. So I can
Thank you.
only invite you to experience that. Preeti, you want to add something to that? The fear part.
I'll skip as of now, Ratnesh,
Sure,
because
sure,
a little blunt. Yeah.
sure, sure.
I
Okay, I
will
think
say,
somebody was raising hand. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Please ask, just
uh,
unmute and go
I
ahead.
would like to know, these days everything is screen time, this, that, either on the cell phone or the computer or the TV. What is your call on that for the children?
Well, I don't have a call. I
Yeah.
invite
Like,
children to have a call on their life. And I think children, what little experience I have is they like gadgets. They're born in this world, and this world is already filled with gadgets when they were born. It's not
yeah,
their fault, right?
yeah.
It's nobody's fault. It's just the tools of our life.
Mm.
If I was born in a farm with whatever, with spades and diggers, then I would possibly run to them. If
Yeah,
I'm born with a farm where already my selfies are being clicked when I am 1 month old, then that's where I am born, right? So they are born in this age, and they will definitely use those tools, but they also like to use all the other tools of the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
So
But I
so
just
they
wanted
like to
to know,
play, they like to cook, they like to jump, they like to do everything
yeah,
until and that's the whole idea, to enjoy everything. If we can do that, then that's more than enough.
thank you.
Yeah, I don't think these are problems, not at all. They are just tools of our modern world, so to say.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
हेलो राज.
Yes,
हाँ.
yes, Raj.
मेरा बेटा तो अभी 17 years का हो गया. हिंदी कंफर्टेबल सर? 19.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. If you can speak in English so that non-Hindi speaking would also understand. But if
But
you
I'm
are
not
only
too much
eh,
comfortable with Hindi. I'm comfortable with Hindi. That's why I'm telling.
sure, sure. Carry on.
Thank you. ओके, तो मेरा बच्चा अभी 12th करके 1 साल से वो कोडिंग सीख रहा है. जैसे आप मेरा बच्चा
Sure.
होम स्कूलर है, तो हमने भी वही कॉन्सेप्ट रखा कि अपनी तरफ से जो सीखना चाहे, जैसे करना चाहे वो करे.
Sure.
तो अभी जैसे मैंने आपका जो ओरिएंटेशन सुना समझा, उससे ज्यादा थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस करना है, तो वहां पे कोई ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है कि यहाँ पे 6 days 7 days आके हम एक्सप्लोर करें, समझे?
Yeah, that is the experience link I just gave in the chat also. The whole family comes, you come stay here with us for a week, then you get the whole sense of how at campus the life works. Yeah. And if you like it, अगर आपको उसमें मजा आता है, जो यहाँ पे आपको as parents and आपके बच्चों को यहाँ पे अच्छा लगता है, then they can be part of it. नहीं भी अच्छा लगता है तो यहाँ से उनको जो सीखने को मिलेगा, जो समझने को मिलेगा, वो भी
नहीं,
बढ़िया है.
डेफिनेटली हमको ऐसा चाहिए कि हम 7 days वहां पे रुके, समझे, जिससे, क्योंकि अभी क्या ना, एज भी ऐसी हो गई उसकी, ही इज नियरली अबोव 19 हो गया है. तो क्या होता है ना कि फिर 1-2 साल में क्या स्पेस नहीं रहता चॉइस का. तो एटलीस्ट अगर बेटर चॉइस हमको मिल जाती है तो हमारे लिए बेटर है. तो हम चाहेंगे
Sure,
कि 7 days में जो
please.
एक्सप्लोर है उसके साथ वो भी कंफर्टेबल सेट हो जाए, तो फिर हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं उसमें. तो ये
प्लीज
7
आइए
days
एज अ होल फैमिली. इट्स 5 days, मंडे टू फ्राइडे, मंडे से फ्राइडे तक 5 days का है. दिस लिंक आई हैव ऑलरेडी पोस्टेड, arohilife.org/experience. आप उसमें सारी डिटेल्स देख लीजिए, उसी में रजिस्ट्रेशन का लिंक है. यू रजिस्टर, देयर आर सम वीक्स, रेस्ट नेक्स्ट 6 weeks आर अवेलेबल. 2 weeks in March. No, okay, this week is already gone, coming week. So last week of March and 4 weeks of April are all available.
ओके, तो हम बुक करेंगे. और उसके
Sure.
फीस और स्ट्रक्चर्स क्या रहेंगे?
Everything is given there. आप
ओके,
सारी
डन
information
डन.
है वहाँ पे. Yeah.
ओके,
And
और
in any
लास्ट
case, I'm sure
वहां
you
पे
have, yeah, I'm sure you have
लास्ट
my WhatsApp number. So if you have any more questions, logistical questions, you can always ask in the WhatsApp number. Yeah, बोलिए, please.
सॉरी, बट हम प्योर वेजिटेरियन हैं, तो वहां पे सभी फूड वेजिटेरियन से होता है या फिर दोनों रहते हैं?
दोनों रहते हैं. See, you have to zoom out and think about it. When we use the term child based education, what does that mean? That means it has to be as per what this particular individual wants, जो इस बच्चे को चाहिए. और हमारे लिए तो आप दोनों भी बच्चे हैं, और हम भी बच्चे हैं, हम भी बच्चे ही हैं, तो जिसकी जो जरूरत है उस तरह से काम कैसे हो सकता है, और वो भी मिलजुल के।
नहीं ऐसे नहीं है, मैं पहले हम लोग हम बचपन में तो हम नॉन वेजिटेरियन फैमिली से बिलोंग करते
नहीं
थे।
नहीं, आप कैसे भी हो, आप तो वेज नॉन वेज की बात करें, कोई एक बोलेगा कि मुझे तो ये खाना ही नहीं है, कोई तो बोलेगा मुझे तो रात को गाना गाना है, कोई बोलता है मुझको रात को पहाड़ी चढ़नी है, कोई बोलता है मुझको ये करना है। एवरीथिंग इज बिल्ट अराउंड द इंडिविजुअल। ओके,
हाँ,
इस
लास्ट
चीज
पॉइंट
को
है
समझने के लिए आपको यहाँ आना होगा कि कैसे
अब
होता है ये,
इससे
कैसे
पहले
इसका
ये
मजा कैसे होता है।
मैं आने का डिसीजन में ये पॉइंट मार्क इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है कि हम आउट ऑफ लिंक से बिलोंग करते हैं, तो हम वो वहां
श्योर
पे भी नहीं
श्योर श्योर, वी विल,
पाते, सेम किचन
yes
में
yes
बनता है,
yes,
वहां भी हम खा
absolutely,
सकते
your whatever is your art of living, that will be taken care by you. You will drive that, right? That is what you come, please have my assurance, not just the food, all kinds of challenges you will have here. Okay,
हैं। ओके,
अगर आपको लाइफ में लग रहा है कि बहुत अच्छी लाइफ चल रही है, आ जाइए यहाँ पे, हम खूब challenges ऐड कर देंगे उसमें। Right? Our campus is full of challenges, जितने आप लेना चाहें। इज
ओके,
दैट
थैंक यू।
एक्साइटिंग? हम उसमें एक्साइटमेंट डाल सकते हैं, राइट, और ईज भी डाल सकते हैं, और आराम भी डाल सकते हैं, जो चाहे आप उस अपनी लाइफ में डाल सकते हैं। या मोर क्वेश्चंस, मोर थॉट्स,
Yeah, can I speak?
प्लीज।
Yeah. I had one doubt. The children are studying without degree, right? So for their further profession, something like software or MBA, HR, something else, how these both are related then? What kind of certification is to be shown from here so that I'm
दैट
also
इज व्हाट आई
eligible?
वाज ट्राइंग टू से, कि there are two ways. One way is to get a certificate and then get a job. One way is to do the job so that people don't need a certificate. In the sense, what I'm trying to explain is, if a child is already experienced and shows you suppose you are the employer, okay, in your organization, you get 100 application, 99 applications are all who have done, let's say, whatever degrees, and there is the 100th person who has not done any degree but has included a whole big portfolio of the work that the child has done, and all that work is the kind of work you are doing in your organization. Would you like to consider that child?
Yes, definitely. We don't see the
Exactly.
certificate at that time.
Exactly. That is what
So
is
what do
happening
you
in
mean?
today's world. The world is already, apart from very few professions, some 10 to 15 professions who definitely require a degree, where you can't just show a work experience, like doctor, for example. But very few are
Right.
those. Only 10, 15 professions require degree. The rest 10, 15 million professions don't require degrees.
So if we come to Aarohi, we will also know what kind of professions the child would have if we are going to join.
How
No,
will,
not like that. I
it's
don't
not
have
about
the idea.
Aarohi. Whether you come to Aarohi or you don't come to Aarohi, the child has to discover his life, his professions. Aarohi cannot tell you which is the child's profession. The child has to discover that. The Aarohi is a space, or even at your home is a space where the child can discover what is it that I want to do in life, or what all I want to do in life. In today's life, people are doing multi professions also, right? My son came to me one fine day, what, dad, you only do one profession, you're outdated. The world has moved
No,
to two or
no.
three sources of incomes and professions, so already, so what I'm saying is it's the children who discover themselves. And how will they discover? Think about it. How will you discover what profession you like? Only by doing that profession, isn't it? You can't discover it in theory. You have to actually jump into the world and do it, and then say, yes, this is what I want to do.
Okay, so there you make the children to discover. I mean, to are you having the interest or not? Different professions will be there. You meant to tell, right? Different
Different
practices
professions
will
are
be
in the
there.
world, they're not in our campus. We don't have anything, right? We are a blank canvas, we are a blank space, we are a space where people live, and then each one thinks and dreams. Like there was this girl who said that I like designing. Okay, so I said,
Okay.
okay, so what do you want to do? She said, I can either go to college, or I don't know what to do. I said, okay, so you can go to college to learn how to do design, or okay, or you can do design and then learn by doing design. Which one do you want to do? She said, I want to do this second one. I want to learn by doing design. I said, okay, then let's start. Okay. So she started little bit exploring here, there, and then she started looking for some clients. And then she found somebody who wanted some designing work done. And she did that project in 2 or 3 months. Obviously, she used the client herself as a mentor, as well as she connected with few more people to help her with that. And in the first project of her life itself, she earned. The client was so happy, she gave us some amount, 10K. But 10K is not a huge
Okay.
amount, but for the first timer who is about 17, Shreya was, yeah, 17 at that time. Now she's 21, but she's 17 at that time. And for her, that 10K was a big deal. And then there was no stopping. One project, another project, one apprenticeship, then a project, then another apprenticeship. And then after some years, 2, 3 years, she said, I don't want to really do this kind of design. She was doing more of UI UX kind of design. I want to move towards clothes. So she moved out of UI UX designing, and now she's totally into fashion styling. And that's where she has moved into. And now she's right now at this, as I talk, she's working with two different movie units and doing styling for movie stars. So all kind of experiences. She's still learning, obviously. And the beauty is, she tells that uncle that there's one more girl with me. I said, okay, and she has done degree in designing, but she's also doing what I'm doing. So that's it. It's not like you'll get degree and you will do something very different. You will still do the same work. So it's a question
Okay.
of, can I put by actually put my own effort by actually learning to do what I like doing. And that's not very different. If you were there at the beginning, I said children like to do what they like to do. So if you like to do what you like to do, then you will automatically do it, and then you'll automatically get better at it.
No, my intention is to ask about the opportunities. Like for normal in a normal education system, we join in a particular engineering or medicine, anything else. If we join our kid in an engineering college, we expect some placements. It's not that every kid will select in the placement. Uh, at least we expect some,
Yeah.
okay, in this college,
That's the
particular
that's the
college, we are
conventional
having
model. I
placement.
just shared with
Mhm.
you a journey which is the unconventional model, where you don't
Yeah.
wait for somebody to place you, where you go out
Oh,
into the world, show them your work. Hey, this is I've done. Would you like to take me? You may need to apply for, let's say, if you want to go for an internship, you have to apply for, let's say, 20 companies. Go ahead, apply 20, 30, 40, till somebody will say, yes, you are doing the kind of work I like. So come in, work with me. And that's the one. Once you've got one internship, you already got one solid experience. Then you move on to the next one. You do some project. So it's by doing in the real world. The best part is, these children, as they are learning their profession, they're already industry ready, because they're learning it from the industry, in the
okay.
industry, from the industry. So they're already industry ready. They don't need to prove themselves in the job, if they're going for job interview or a client base, because they already have done that work. So the work
Oh,
starts speaking for themselves. We call it as work certified. Unlike a degree certified or university certified, these children become work certified.
okay. Fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
Thank
is.
you.
See, I know it is perhaps a little new way. So we are also used to this college degree, interview, selection, job. We're
Yeah.
very used to this kind of a journey, which is I also went through. We all have went through this whole same journey. So that's absolutely fine. Uh, but you have to now take a jump and leap and say, okay, how else can it happen? And it's not very difficult for you to take that jump and leap. I'll give you a clue. Okay, if you look around, all your family members, relatives, siblings, cousins, friends, and how many of them are doing work for which they learnt in the degree? So many of us
Yeah.
are not doing that. Then how did we learn what we are doing? Not because of
Yeah.
the degree. Again, we did something in that field, and then only we are now in part of that industry. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a proof that it's not the degree which made us get into that job. It's somewhere a passion, an interest, and our own enabling ourselves with those skills that was required with this new domain. So we left our degree domain to embrace another domain. A whole lot of us, including me. Right? I had no idea about education. I still don't have much idea about education. All I can say is, but I've thoroughly enjoyed this journey with children. That's all I can say. Yes.
Um, just adding on to what Ratnesh is saying, Suchitra, uh, because this is a child-led journey where we are trusting the child, very much trusting the child about each and every choice, each and every decision that they're taking. So, so when when they're doing things by themselves and they know that this is what I want to do, this is where I'm heading to. So deciding on any degree or quitting or just crossing the degree and going ahead with the experience based learning and doing and then doing and going for an internship, all of those processes will be decided by the child. So here, what we have to like really get into is in our heads as parents, as adults, we really need to get into understanding the child. That is our right now. We should, I
Yeah.
think, we can look at, and then later on, what the child is deciding. Even if the child wants to do those 10 to 12 professions which really require degree, they will decide that, and they will decide at the right time ki, okay, this is what I want to do, this is the degree this profession requires, and for which I need to go to this college or this school or this whatever. So all of that they can figure out if we trust our children. That's an addition to what Ratnesh has been sharing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So I can summarize with what Preeti is saying is the question you should be asking is how am I understanding the child? Not whether am I. We all are understanding our children, but how? Right? Maybe in 5 ways, maybe in 10 ways, maybe in the ways in which we have. For example, we use our fears to understand the child. But do we want to understand the child through fear? Or do we want to understand the child through the trust in the child's abilities to actually figure out his or her life? Which one do we want to use to understand the child? Right? Worry or something else, or some other ways of understanding. So that's the real question. We have been conditioned to fear or to get worried or to get concerned, but these are not empowering ways. Right? If I fear for you, that's I won't be able to empower you. But if I, as Preeti is saying, trust in you, believe in you, and then I connect with you. So as parents, we have to do a lot of work with our children. This When we take
Yes.
this kind of a journey, there are people who are here who are already doing homeschooling, unschooling, and you will connect with what I'm saying. It's not like when we do a child based education our work is less. In fact, our work is more, but it's fun, it's more joyous work because it's connected with what the child is connected with. So there is a full, it's like a you're partnering, not parenting, but partnering somebody who is on a flow, on a ride. And that is where we call ourselves as co-passengers. We become co-passengers in their journey as much as they are co-passengers in our professional or learning or whatever journey. So that is what is the whole thing about. And again, I know I'm kind of marketing, but Jagriti is the program if you really want to first dive into not understanding the child, but how to understand the child. Right? If we are going to understand the child with our own already fixed conditioning, then we are hardly understanding the child. Then we are only seeing the child from our fears, our concerns, our expectations. But that's not understanding. The real understanding comes when we can connect with how the child is operating, how the child is thinking, how the child is feeling, how the child is creating himself.
Okay.
Yeah, because the most important thing that we create, all of us create in our life, is ourselves, don't we?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the biggest work in progress that we already always have. And if we can understand that, rest of the things, the world, the degrees, if I require, I'll get a degree. Don't worry, mama. That should be the statement. So it's not about all of the world. It's not about what the companies want and people want. It's about what I want first, how I see the world and how I build myself.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. We are at 6. We can take a couple of more questions. We typically do these sessions 5 to 6, and we do this every Saturday. So you're free to jump in again if you have more questions, which I hope you have more and more questions. So you can jump in again, come again as many Saturdays. Obviously, you can come to stay with us, experience us, and you can consider Jagriti if you want to work first on yourself, because it's, if you are going to take a journey which is close to the child, the first person whom we need to work is not the child, is ourselves. Right? We need to prepare ourselves for the child rather than preparing child for the world. The child will prepare himself for the world if I am preparing for the child. Right? So that's the dynamics. Yeah. But anyways, I can take maybe one or two questions if you have any more, or we can meet again the next Saturday, or you can even connect with me if you have a specific logistical kind of question. Yeah. Anybody? So we had parents with older age groups. We had, I think, couple of parents with 11-year-olds, and we had children who have done 10th, 12th. So that's what is interesting. And then we have a whole lot of also parents with younger age group children. Uh, parents, for parents who have started that early to start thinking about, what kind of education for my child, I would say I'm really glad that you are thinking so early, because I think it makes a big difference. If from beginning you can be in tune with the child. Yeah. And not only it because makes a big difference to the child, that's one part. It'll make a big difference to you, because then your life is filled with so much joy, because there is so much happening on an everyday basis which you can celebrate. Yeah. So that's for the younger children. And for parents with older children, 8, 11, yeah, I think, yeah. uh, if you still have question, Tejal, if you have any question, who else? We had, yeah, 2, 3 parents with 11, 13, 15, 17. If you have any thoughts running in your mind. If you don't have any thoughts, but if you have a thought, should I go and visit and stay here? That's the best thought. Right? Come over 1 week. You will be a learner here. Your child will be a learner here, and we will all explore something which I can't talk about. You can come and experience. Yep. Any last question, or we can close for today? And as I said, we can continue next Saturday, or you can DM me. Okay. I think right now people are taking time to think and explore this wonderful thing. So let's sign off here. Thank you for joining in. And right, we'll be back next Saturday, and stay connected. We are there to support your journey, whether you connect directly with Aarohi, be part of any of our initiatives or not. That's immaterial. We are any which way there to support you as parent or as your child's education journey. So both the unparenting or parenting part and the education journey part, we are there to support you. Yeah. So feel free to reach out to us at any time. Anyway, if you're part of our WhatsApp groups, then we'll keep connected in many different ways. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice weekend, and we'll stay connected. Bye bye.
Bye.